You think wild turkeys are just noisy, awkward scavengers? Think again. Hidden under that messy flurry of feathers is a brutal multi-tiered caste system, an entire royal court of alliances, betrayals, and bloodline politics that would put medieval kingdoms to shame. We're going to pull back the leaf litter and map how sibling cliques, vocal alliances, and spine-chilling displays of intimidation keep entire flocks in line. And right now, as climate change and habitat fragmentation squeeze them into smaller spaces, these systems are turning vicious, more aggressive, more calculated, and more consequential than anything bird lovers expected. Stay with me. By the time you're done, you'll never look at a turkey the same way again. Today we're not doing cute facts. We're doing power. This is an anthropological dive into one of the forest's most sophisticated social systems. We'll trace bloodlines, decode vocal diplomacy, and show the physical tactics turkeys use to police their social ranks. We'll also connect this to modern pressures in 2026, why smaller territories and new human tech are rewriting turkey politics, and what that means for conservation. Let's begin. Part 1. The structure. A multi-tiered caste system. First, what does caste system actually look like for wild turkeys? It's not random pecking order. It's organized tiers. Dominant toms at the top, then trusted sibling subgroups, then peripheral juveniles and widowed females, each with distinct roles and rules. At the apex are dominant males, not always the biggest, but the ones with the strongest lineage alliances. These toms command access to prime foraging spots and the best roosts. Their dominance is reinforced by a web of subordinate males and female allies who gain protection and food access by association. Below the alphas are sibling subgroups, brothers and sisters that stick together across seasons. These subgroups maintain internal hierarchies, but present a united front externally. Genetic studies show these sibling coalitions often share bloodlines that persist across generations. Then there are floaters, young males who haven't secured a stable place. There are also widowed or displaced females who form loose networks and sometimes broker alliances between males. Contrary to the every bird for itself image, these lower tiers are highly strategic. They observe, wait, and exploit moments of weakness to climb. Part 2. The arsenal. Vocal diplomacy, rituals, and physical intimidation. Turkeys govern their society with a mixed media toolkit: vocal signals, elaborate physical displays, and targeted aggression. Each technique carries information: rank, intent, alliance, and even bloodline. Their calls aren't simple. From purrs and yelps to thunderous gobbles, each vocalization has nuance. Research with spectrogram analysis shows distinct patterns when calling to allies versus warning rivals, and even subtle tonal shifts when referencing familiar kin. Display rituals are the theatre of power. Toms puff, fan, and strut, but these are calibrated performances. They signal physical fitness and also test the loyalty of their subordinates. A controlled display can be a subtle intimidation tactic, checkmate in feathered theatre. When signals fail, violence steps in. But this isn't mindless brawling, it's targeted. Dominant birds often isolate a rival and coordinate group harassment. Sudden mobbing, strategic pecking at legs, or roost exclusion. The goal isn't to kill, it's to incapacitate or exile. The wild turkey's political map is layered with genetics. Lineage matters. How does bloodline shape who sits where? Kin selection explains much. Birds prefer helping relatives because it promotes shared genes. That explains sibling subgroups and why certain males receive more tolerance and mating access. Technological advances, from RFID tagging to DNA barcoding, let researchers track alleles across flocks. These studies reveal long-term coalitions. Certain bloodlines repeatedly occupy higher ranks across years, suggesting cultural transmission of status as well as genetic advantage. But bloodlines aren't ironclad. Estranged offspring, environmental stress, or the arrival of migrants can fracture alliances. When that happens, you get rapid reshuffling, violent, unpredictable, and sometimes catastrophic for local populations. Now the twist. The world is changing, and turkey politics are responding fast. Climate shifts and fragmented habitats in 2026 are pushing flocks into smaller, overlapping territories. Resources become scarce, roosting spots shrink, and previously peaceful boundaries turn into flashpoints. New technological monitoring, automated audio recorders, camera traps, and machine learning call identification, showing a measurable increase in aggressive interactions. When territories converge, frequency of dominance displays and physical aggression elevates sharply. This isn't academic. Understanding these social dynamics is now a primary conservation tool. If we ignore how turkeys organize socially, translocation or reintroduction efforts can fail. New birds might be slaughtered by entrenched hierarchies or abandoned by their kin. So what's the bottom line? Wild turkeys are not quaint relics. They're political actors in a forest-scale game, using vocal diplomacy, bloodline contracts, and well-calibrated violence to survive. In 2026, their politics are being rewired by environmental pressure, and scientists now know that you can't conserve a species without conserving its social system. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you think about turkeys, hit like and subscribe. It helps us bring more deep dive stories like this. Drop a comment. Which turkey behavior surprised you the most? See you next time.